We have an update on the Wan Hai 503, the container ship that caught on fire off India. The salvage operation is going very, very slowly. Here's the story from the Maritime Executive that was published on November the 19th, 2025. Salvage teams continue to make slow progress in their efforts to clear the fire-damaged container ship Wan Hai 503. 2 months after the Hawk was permitted to dock in the port of Jebel Ali in the UAE, the salvage operation continued to face challenges after having removed approximately 2/3 of the containers from the vessel. Vessel operator Wan Hai posted its latest update, reporting that 1,148 containers have been discharged from the vessel in a slow and challenging operation, with an additional 574 containers still on board. At the end of October, salvage teams had removed 638 containers, and by the end of the first week of November, it had raised to 987 containers. The shipping line highlights that the first challenge was that carbon monoxide remained in some of the unopened cargo holds, despite the fire which began on June the 9th, and being largely extinguished by early July. The operation required careful ventilation of below-deck spaces. The boxes were waterlogged and suffered extensive fire damage, as well as damage to the structures holding the containers. Heavy machinery and grab units were being used to remove each box, but they noted that lifting path needed to be constantly revised. Dewatering also continued, with some 5,000 tons of firefighting water having been discharged. The efforts to remove the remaining water, however, have become increasingly difficult due to the amount of cargo residue that is blocking the pump pipes or old openings. Entry into cargo holds has also been complicated by the deformation of the hatches. They report that the hatches were severely deformed by the fire, requiring salvage teams to cut the hatches into segments before they can be lifted. The remaining containers are those that are the most damaged, melted, and structurally weakened due to the fire. Wan Hai reports that it is becoming increasingly difficult to identify the individual containers as they are being discharged. The fire began while the container ship was approximately 54 nautical miles west of India in the Arabian Sea, and was finally brought under control by early July. It was finally declared fully extinguished by the end of July, and then more than a month was spent searching for a port of refuge before it was decided to tow the vessel to the Middle East. 4 seafarers, 2 from Taiwan, 1 each from Indonesia and Myanmar, were reported missing. When the vessel was abandoned on June the 9th, the remaining 18 crew members were evacuated with the assistance of the Indian Navy and the Indian Coast Guard, with 6 submitted to a hospital in India with injuries from the explosion and fire on board the vessel. An unbelievably difficult, slow, and painful job to unload this ship. And it's just going to keep getting worse the further they get into it. The easy stuff is done, and they're still only 2/3 of the way through it, and it's about 2 months already. It's a very slow process. And unfortunately, it's not going to get any faster. Good luck to everyone involved here. Hopefully you guys can get this thing unloaded without anyone else getting hurt. Alright guys, there it is. As always, thanks for watching. If you're new here and you like these kind of videos, don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and I'll see you on the next one.